Do you want to post on social media, but you're not as much as you want to be? You know that the most ideal version of yourself, the highest level version of yourself, posts on social media, shares messages, experiences, promotions for things, like sharing messages about stuff, whatever it is, but you're not doing it. But you know that in your ideal life you are. This video is for you. I have a lot of notes on my phone because I actually prepped for this. These are 8 things that I would tell someone who wants to post more than they are. Oh boy, first time with a script, and I might be reading a lot of this. I'm sorry. But I am somebody who I've been posting on social media for the past 6 months very, very consistently. Sometimes I post 15 videos in a day. I post on TikTok, Instagram, I have a newsletter, I have a blog, all this stuff. I do 2 YouTube videos a week for the past 6 months. But I used to hate social media. I used to never not have social media on my phone for like a year or 2. I would have all these experiences and never share them. When I did have social media on my phone, I didn't really post anything on my personal stuff. And then even when I moved to California and I had a lot I wanted to share with the people that wanted to see, what did I do? Instead of posting pictures of the beach on my personal Instagram with all my followers, I made a separate private Instagram with, 30 people following me, where I posted all these like beautiful pictures of the beach and food and like stuff about my life in California. But I was too afraid to post that stuff on my like real Instagram. Why? I don't know. Because I was self-conscious, afraid of judgment, like all this stuff. So like I'm a very I like to live small and like, I don't know. That's just a little background, which you may or may not relate to. But I feel very like expressive and free, and I'll post whatever, wherever now, basically. I don't care. I'm not self-conscious about the things that I used to be. So 6 months ago, I just realized I had like messages inside me to share. So I'm completely energized I'm going to continue. So number 1 thing I would tell you is the hardest part is starting, I promise you. So you might know Mel Robbins. She's a motivational speaker, has like a top podcast, best-selling author. You might have heard of the Let Them Theory book. And in that book, there's a chapter about how she, like feeling fear of judgment and stuff. And basically she had drafts in her Instagram for 2 years before she actually posted anything because she was so afraid. And I actually read this chapter in a video I'll link below. This chapter got me through the first month of posting. Like I would read it every single day. And that's something I think about a lot. Like a lot of people want to post, but they don't. Even the top people on social media, it took them 2 years to even start. So if you can like start and be more consistent before the 2-year mark, like you're already ahead of most people, I would say. So even if you just try and post anything, even if it's really bad. Your brain might make you think you need to have something better to like start with or to post in general, but literally just post something and let it be so bad. Let yourself just record and post. Don't worry about the description, the hashtags, the captions, all that stuff can come with time, but first just do it. Like I always think that at a certain point, like most of the time, if I had to edit something, then I wouldn't post it at all. So don't let perfection get in the way of doing it at all. Like just focus on doing it. And there's a really good TikTok that I put at the end of my last video. I'll put it at the end of this, maybe too, of just do it and then improve upon it. I'll put it at the end of here. You'll want to see that. Oh yeah, so I try to find that line because obviously later on you'll improve, but you want to get to that point where like you're challenging yourself, but not so much that you give up and you don't do it at all. Just post. Don't worry about the editing. Watch my beginning YouTube videos. I would just click record, not edit a single thing, and then upload it. No description or anything for a long time. No thumbnail, no editing software besides a photo booth. Like, don't do anything fancy. Don't even think that you need to buy an editing software. Just like do it in Instagram or whatever. Second thing I would tell you, some people, this is just a good reminder, but if you're in your head about like, I don't know about like me sharing my face like and myself online and video and stuff, so think about it as you're sharing a message. You're not really sharing, it's not like it's not the Emily show. It's mindset and ways to live your life and things to think about and like value that you can take home. Like as I'm talking, you're not really thinking about me. You're thinking about how this affects you. And think about that as you're scrolling and stuff. Are you like thinking about and like looking really that closely at anybody, or you're thinking about like your life and the thing that they're telling you? So some people get in their head about like how they look, or that they need to look a certain way or dress a certain way or something. But like, don't worry about that in the beginning, if ever, because like it's about the message, not you. But people like seeing people more than just a bunch of text. Video is the highest form of like sharing information that we have right now, until we have like, what's it called? I want to say like hieroglyphics, holograms. Until we have something like that, video is the highest form of sharing messages. So people want that highest quality thing more than reading a long letter. So just like, I like racking up reasons why what I'm doing is a good thing. So if you need like that extra boost, this is the video for you. So yeah, people are only thinking about themselves. And if they think about like you as a person, like people are probably like, oh cool, Emily's making videos. That's literally the extent of it, I bet. Like, that's how I feel about people. Like, oh, nice. Number 3, third thing I'll tell you. They're waiting for you. There's somebody out there that wants to hear, that needs to hear your message, to see your face, and like they're waiting for you. I just posted a TikTok about this because I came across somebody's profile with 2 videos of her singing cover songs and doing 2 covers of 2 songs that I really like. And her voice was so good and I wanted more. And the videos were from like a year or 2 ago. And I want more. Like, I'm waiting for her. I'm waiting for people like that to share their art and their talents and stuff. I know this other guy, a friend of a friend, who I met, and he was playing, I was like, I really want to hear your music. And he played all this music that he had on audio files on his phone because he wasn't yet ready to go on SoundCloud or Spotify or publish his music in any way. But people are waiting for you to share so that they can enjoy it or get value out of it or inspire them. Or even, oh, I love this. Maybe I'll put a clip of this. So even to inspire, even if you show up so badly, it will inspire somebody who's better than you to like get out there and share their message. So it's just like the butterfly effect, or like a chain of positive reactions. I feel like I'll play a clip if I can. So when I was learning how to dance in 2020, because I didn't know what a beat was before then, my dad told me about this video of this guy who at a like concert, it's super grassy, like a big grassy area, outdoor concert during the day. This guy starts getting up and dancing so badly, but like going crazy, getting so into it, like super like energetic dancing. Everybody was sitting, nobody was dancing. He gets up, and then a few other people start getting up, and then eventually the entire crowd is up and dancing and having a great time. Like, I think about that all the time with me dancing, and then also me doing this. It's like, let me go do this badly embarrassing, like, so that other people who actually are good at dancing or are good at whatever the heck it is, are more comfortable taking that step to share their thing, to go on the dance floor, to share on social media, put their music out or whatever. And again, like, use me as an example. Like, I don't know, look at my old videos, look at my videos now. Like, if I can do this, I promise you can. And I want to show you that it's easy, hype you up. And like, I really want you to share the message that you have inside of you, because it's placed there for a reason. You have this desire for a reason. So not only do I want to do this so that you share something, but also like, no, I don't know, it's just like an extra bonus point that when you share, you're going to inspire somebody else to do the same. I also think about like doing it for the past version of yourself. Like sometimes I'll talk to the past version of me or the future version of me. That might help. And yeah, you're going to inspire people, and you never know how like broad the impact is. Like I always hear of like somebody's friend's daughter or like somebody's friend's sister like saw my stuff and they really liked it or laughed at this thing, or like, I don't know. The impact is pretty cool. Also, another thing I've recently thought about, because I just saw that those singing videos and they were posted 1 or 2 years ago. I was thinking about how people could find me 5 years from now. Or you might know I'm working with this business coach and I'm finding her after a few years of her doing her thing. Like somebody's gonna find this sometime 5 years from now, and I don't know. I just really like that idea. like if you don't see the impact right now, like if I get one view on this, it doesn't mean that 5 years from now, one other person views it and like it causes a chain reaction in their life. Has some positive impact on somebody's life like 5 years from now. So don't always look at the immediate. Okay, the fourth thing I would tell you is that personal branding and being online is the way that businesses are moving now. Like every company is going to have like a person's face and personal brand to it, like the most successful companies these days. I'll talk about this podcast later, but I got a lot of this, some of this from this point from the Daniel Priestley podcast on Diary of a CEO. And another point, which is from like the Simon Sinek podcast that I've been thinking about, Simon Sinek on Diary of a CEO, is that in this age of AI and artificial, be the authentic. People are just going to want more and more authentic. Nobody wants like a chat bot, an AI person talking to them about whatever message you want to share. They want the human, the real, like who's messing up and all this stuff. Sometimes what stops people and like thoughts that I have, like, you want to be like perfect or you want to be professional, but realize that professional, like people are wanting to see real and the face behind the company these days. And this is why long form media is like on the rise and is going to continue to be, because like you've seen presidential candidates and all these CEOs going on 2-3 hour long podcasts because they can't script that entire thing. And people want to see the mess ups, the unscripted, all that kind of stuff. So don't put pressure on yourself to be like perfect. And remember that like professional these days isn't like completely like, it's not robotic. We don't want robots. We want people, and people make mistakes. They show up as they are, like they're authentic. I will share though, like in terms of being professional, I do get in my head sometimes about clients seeing me sometimes. And whenever a coworker follows me or a new entrepreneur that I've met networking or something follows me, I feel self-conscious. It's making me like feel self-conscious a little bit now. I'll feel self-conscious for like a day, but then I remember this feeling means I'm entering new territory, which you need to enter new areas of life to get results that you've never gotten before. And when I feel these feelings, I don't let it affect how I don't think of them, and I don't record and post thinking about them. I try to kind of remove the two. I record for myself almost always, or like I think of one specific person who would want to hear this, or a few people, and I'm talking to them. I kind of forget about the rest. And then and then I'll post, and all of this I do in like a very high vibe state. Like I try to like have good energy behind the recording and the posting. But then after I post, sometimes that's when the thoughts come in and be like, what if they see me, or like they interpret this the wrong way or something. And sometimes people do, not in like a bad way. It's just like it didn't land exactly how I was trying to convey something. And that's okay. Let that go and just like feel those feelings. Totally normal. But don't let it affect what you do. Kind of like I have this feeling also with, I don't know, like how I feel about my body, for example, like, or I'll just say that, like, no matter how I feel about my body or how I look, I don't let it affect whether or not I wear a bathing suit, I go in the ocean, I go surfing or swimming or something. Like, that's just a personal thing of mine. Like, I was a lifeguard wearing a bathing suit, like, at work. Like, I don't know. Because I think there is a life where if you don't feel good about your body, then you avoid things, you know? And there's the life that I want to live where no matter how I feel, I'm still doing the thing. Like, don't let your brain get in the way of what you actually want to do. And with this, it's like, I'm not going to let my coworkers, however I feel about my coworkers, by the way, they're all very supportive and like, they probably have no idea I'm thinking this. And if you're watching this, like, thank you so much for following me. Like, I love that you do. It's my own personal like healing journey about like this being professional and being like fully me and authentic and stuff, like, but what am I trying to say? I'm not gonna let my fear of judgment or whatever from coworkers affect how I post. I hope that makes sense. Number 5, you have nothing to lose. You literally have nothing to lose. It's a net positive. Do you know why? Because how easy is it to unfollow, to not follow, to scroll past, to click past stories? Like, come on. Like, people are only watching if they want to watch. I saw this video one time that I posted on my story. It might be in my highlights, but it was this girl saying, tell me one story that you saw yesterday on Instagram. And I would take it further, like, tell me one reel that you saw yesterday, or you just got up from scrolling for 30 minutes. Can you tell me one freaking thing that you saw? Like, people's attention span is so small and we're not really like absorbing that much. So like, don't worry about it. People are, like, forget as soon as they saw it. And then they're just going to have the thought of like, either they're going to take your message and like start living with it or take action on it if they do, or they're going to be like, oh, cool, that person is making videos, like, but they're not thinking much beyond that. Number 6, don't freaking call it content. This may or may not be a personal issue, and I will say, I do call it content now, 6 months in, but for the first few months or first month, I wouldn't call it content because I have such a negative connotation with content, or I used to. If you're fairly new at posting on social media, you might have similar negative thoughts or feelings that come with the words creating content. Because I remember feeling kind of like, I don't want to like make content. It makes me feel like a machine, like pumping out content, or like do it for the gram. Like, you're not living your life. You're just like doing it for social media, or like makes me think of the people taking selfies and falling off cliffs, kind of, or just like making content just to make content kind of energy. Or like, maybe I associate it with like the most exaggerated, like, fake influencer you could think of. Or people posting for attention or views. Like, I feel like the word content might have a negative connotation for you, because it definitely did for me. And so don't call it that. Let's call it something else for a while. Instead, you could think about how you're sharing a valuable message. You're here on Instagram sharing a valuable message. You are expressing yourself. You're sharing your authentic self with the world in the same way that you would if we were in a room together, or if this was a text. You're sharing yourself with the world to make a positive impact. Like, that kind of stuff. How does that feel? A little bit like different, huh? I like to view this as my art, my expression, or also it's like sharing it with a friend. It's like texting a friend or doing a voice memo to a friend, or I'm out with somebody and somebody asks me this question and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much I want to tell you. But then a lot of times, like something happens in my life and I want to share it with somebody or something I learned. Then I realize there are 5 other people that would love to hear this. And I might tell 3 of them. I might tell 5 of them over the course of the month. The stuff that you're thinking about posting on social media, like, is this something that you would want to share with 3, 5 friends over text? And are you? And will you every single time something like this comes up? Because for me, like, I don't always want people to feel obligated to respond. And also, I'm not always going to text 5 people because that's a lot to maintain with the back and forth. And then you're not always going to text 10 people, even though you might know 10 people that would like this message. And then if you were to text those 10 people, like maybe only 8 have the mental bandwidth to like process it at this time. And then those people might know other people that would like to hear this too. And then there are also maybe 8 other people who would like to know this message, but they don't even know that they want to know it. And they're not in your circles at all. That's what social media is. You get to share it with all these people and people can watch and view when it's like a good time for them to absorb it, and they can watch as much as they want, and then they can continue to like comment and talk to you about this stuff. And then it's there forever. Like, there's so many cool benefits, but this also helps you to be more casual talking too, because it's like a FaceTime or, yeah, like I said, a voice text or something, or a phone call. Number 7 of 8 is don't think about structure and creativity at the same time. And by that, so there's like the creation that's completely different than how people are going to receive this. Like rules around this, like you must create for this many hours or 3 times a week or whatever, or post 3 times a week. Like, your job is to create. Let the critiques critique. That's something from the Artist's Way. And there comes a point where you will want to improve and critique and stuff. I'm at that point, so I've been just posting whatever for 6 months, more or less. And I'm trying to, or I am implementing I'm going to start implementing a little bit more strategy here and there, but also let myself continue just like to do my art and express myself however I want. Because it is so different. I'm telling you now. When I got really in touch with my artist self in this Artist's Way, I was so opposed to structure. I'm somebody who goes to the gym multiple times a week. Like, I'm pretty disciplined in a lot of areas, and especially the gym. And I noticed when I was more of my artist flowy self and like really in tune with that, I was like, I don't need to go to the gym. Like, I was so opposed to that. Like, I don't want any structure. Don't tell me what to do ever. Like, I'm only going to float around and like 0 discipline. And that was that's like maybe a more extreme example, but even just like the thoughts of like how much you're going to do. Okay, I guess I'll just say this blends into some of the stuff I want to talk about in number 8, but basically, like, yeah, creating is different than structure, and you do need both. But if you're brand new, leave the structure and the critiquing and the rules behind and just express. And even now for me, so the one piece of little structure that I would recommend, if this is something that you want to do, I would say take just every day, do one thing every day towards this goal of being on social media or whatever you want to do. So for me, that could mean recording or coming up with an idea or whatever. Like, I'm just doing one thing every day for my business, and that could be so many things. And sometimes that's an entire weekend of bricking my phone. So I have this brick and it blocks off all my social media, so I can't go on it at all. And I might be taking an intentional break from business and social media and creating, like, that intentional break. I would still count as doing something for my business. I don't have any rules. You see I've posted so much on multiple platforms, and I don't have any sort of structure, like post this many, whatever. I do have in my notes app like goals of like 1 newsletter a month, 2 YouTube videos a week, blah, blah, blah. But they don't feel like things I have to do. It's more like an observation of what I have been doing for 6 months in my natural flow. All right, number 8. Are you afraid that nobody is going to like what you do? or afraid of like how people are going to receive it. Few different points on this. So like a lot of people, more people are going to like it than you think, probably. A lot of people are going to be watching and find value in it who will not follow and will not like. Some of my biggest supporters don't like anything. I know for a fact there are a lot of people watching my things on multiple platforms that don't follow me. So for whatever reason, they're just not. So like, don't equate follows or likes for people liking it. I don't know. Once again, this kind of bleeds into, like I was saying, it's kind of similar to number 7. Like, it's a different thing thinking about how people are going to receive it. And I think that's just not your job, to be honest. Your job is to be in the creative flow, share the message that you have inside of you, and like maybe get better for yourself. But like, I don't know. I'm not in the business of doing it for the views or the likes for whatever reason. And if you are a business, here's the reminder that you don't need 1 million followers to have 20 new clients in the next few months or whatever. Like, you don't need as many followers or views as you think. I don't know. Okay. And I also like to think about it as like comedy. So a stand-up comedian might tell a joke, and just because you're not like like rolling on the floor laughing, raffle, ROFL. I was thinking about like, I'm not in the mood right now, but I was like, picture me exaggeratingly like, oh my gosh, knee slapper. Just because I'm not in the front row, like, that's hilarious, doesn't mean that I like, sometimes I'll hear jokes and I won't even laugh, but I'm like, that was a really good joke, and like really appreciate it, you know? Like, just because you're not getting the laughs doesn't mean anything about the value of it. And if you're thinking about how, like, a lot about how you're being received, I think that's like an external validation thing too. And I could do a whole video on that. If this is something that you struggle with, let me know. And I'd love to hear more about like how you feel about it. I could talk about that in a completely different video. But on the stand-up comedian thing, it's funny because if you recorded yourself doing stand-up comedy, even if nobody laughed, some people might still appreciate the joke. And then if you put that on an Instagram reel, there's some people that might laugh at home, share it with their friends, or some people that wouldn't laugh at home but would still appreciate it. So it's like, just the metrics like are so subjective, I feel like, of like what is liking it. And some people might actively dislike something because it reflects something they don't like about themselves, or some way that they're lacking, or some insecurity that they have. And they might actively hate on it, and then 2 years from now do the same thing as you. So like, anyway, this is number 8. So once again, like, if you're not getting the feedback you want, whatever. This is also, I guess, about the fear of judgment maybe, but nobody doing better than you is going to judge you or think that it's bad or anything. They're going to like build you up. And if you don't have someone in your life that you know, or if you want somebody else, like DM me, put a comment in here, and let's build some people up. Like, we'll support you here and hype you up, because I think this is like, if you have a desire to do this, like, freaking go for it. You have, like, for these 8 reasons, freaking go for it. And you will literally learn so much, more than you even know. So many skills. I have a video on this on my Instagram too, of like just all the skills I've learned. I have a video on all the ways that like YouTube has positively impacted my life. There's so many rabbit holes I could go down, so many benefits, but definitely go for it. And some of the skills that you'll learn, Daniel Priestley, that Diary of a CEO thing, talks about that and the value of publishing. So yeah, once again, at the very end of this, I'll put the TikTok video that you should really watch. And at the bottom in the description, I'll link the YouTube video where I read the Mel Robbins chapter that you'll want to listen to every day. I really hope that this helps and that you go out there and you post, or that you post more. And if you want, once again, if you want somebody to hype you up or need that accountability or whatever, send me a DM. I would love to hear it. Or even if you don't need the accountability, like I would still love to hear if this inspired you to post, like, please. Like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe if you want more on living your most bold and courageous life. And if you're posting on social media, like that is such a bold thing to do and so courageous. There are so many people that are afraid to do that. So give yourself major props for even thinking about this. My name is Emily. I'm a mindset coach and I love helping people get past their limiting beliefs to get closer to their dream life. For more personalized coaching, click the link below or in my bio for my website to sign up for a free, no pressure consultation call. I love videos like this, and this was inspired by a conversation I had in real life. So please, I'd love to know like what you are struggling with, what goals you're trying to achieve and not getting to. Like put it in your comments, put it in the DM, because I probably have a video and 30 minutes of talking about that. And I would love to help you. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one.
What's crazy is that the world doesn't reward you when you do your best. The world rewards you when you just do. Whenever you talk to someone who hasn't really accomplished their goals in life, they never even have an average version of what they want. They want to start a podcast, they have nothing to show for it. They've always wanted to start a brand or a business. The website doesn't exist. The LLC is nowhere to be found. They don't even know what product they want to sell. They've always wanted to start a TikTok page. The account doesn't even exist. The next time you want to start something, that goal you're thinking of right now, can you just make me a promise and take the most comically small step towards that goal? If you want to be a creator, make an account. If you want to start a business, at least come up with a logo. Make the smallest step count, because the world rewards you when you just take a step forward. A bike is easier to keep balanced when it's in motion than it is when it's just standing still. But that's the trick of the mind. The mind just wants you to stay still. As long as you stay still, then the thing that you fear always seems like this massive, vague, really complex process that you don't even know where to begin. Oh, I don't know how to film content. I don't even know how to make an LLC. I don't know the first thing about starting a website. That's exactly what the mind wants, because its goal is not for you to thrive. The mind just wants you to survive. And unfortunately, that works against everything you've ever wanted in your life.